Hey everyone! Welcome back to Roy English Talk, your go-to space for mastering English fluency step by step, wherever you are in the world. I'm your host, Natasha, and today we're diving into a powerful and practical topic, how to practice English alone. Now, I know many of you don't have access to native speakers or English classes every day. Maybe you're busy, shy, or simply prefer studying by yourself. Guess what? That's not a problem. In fact, some of the best English learners I know are self-taught. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt stuck learning English because you didn't have anyone to practice with? Or maybe you've tried talking to yourself in English, but it felt awkward. Maybe you've started and stopped more times than you can count. Well, here's the truth. You can become fluent in English completely on your own, and today, I'll show you exactly how. Most people believe they need a teacher, a native speaking partner, or a classroom to improve. But what if I told you that some of the most fluent English speakers in the world learned it all by themselves, from their bedroom, in front of a mirror, or with just their phone? Crazy, right? In this video, you're going to discover the exact methods, strategies, and daily habits that will help you speak, write, and think in English without depending on anyone else. And trust me, once you understand how to make the most of your solo time, you'll realize that learning alone might be the most powerful path of all. You might be thinking, but how can I improve my speaking if there's no one to talk to? Or how do I know if I'm saying something wrong? Or even what if I lose motivation halfway through? Those are excellent questions, and we're going to tackle each of them step by step. We'll explore how to create a complete English immersion environment, even if you live in a non-English speaking country. You'll learn speaking techniques that require zero partners, listening strategies that mimic real conversations, and writing tricks that actually improve your thinking and grammar, all done by yourself. I'll also share with you the biggest mistakes people make when learning alone and how to avoid them. Because yes, learning English solo has its traps, but once you know them, you'll dodge them like a pro. And here's the best part. You don't need expensive apps, courses, or fancy notebooks. You just need the right mindset, the right tools, and the right guide, and that's what this video is here for. If you're shy, if you're too busy to join a class, or if you just prefer to study in peace, this video is for you. You'll learn how to practice every single English skill, speaking, listening, reading, and writing completely on your own, even if you've never tried it before. We'll look at how to set up a daily routine that actually works, how to track your progress, and how to stay motivated on days when English feels hard. Because yes, there will be days like that. But after today, you'll know exactly what to do. So whether you're learning English for your job, travel, study, or just because you love the language, this is your moment. Grab a notebook, silence your notifications, and get ready to transform how you learn English. Because this time, you're not just watching a video, you're building a skill that will change your life. Let's begin. Number 2, the psychology of solo learning. Let's talk about something that nobody teaches you in a textbook, how your mind reacts when you're learning alone. Because the truth is, learning English by yourself isn't just about finding the right tools or doing the right exercises. It's about developing the right mindset. And this mindset isn't automatic. It has to be built like a muscle. When you're alone, there's no teacher pushing you, no classmates watching you, no pressure to perform. And while that can feel freeing, it also means one dangerous thing. You're the only one responsible for your progress. That can feel empowering or paralyzing. So let's break down how your psychology influences your learning and how to use it to your advantage. First, let's address the elephant in the room, motivation. At first, motivation feels easy. You're excited. You make plans. You download apps. Maybe you buy a new notebook. But a few days later, reality hits. You're tired. Life gets busy. The excitement fades. This is where most solo learners quit, not because they aren't smart, but because they misunderstand motivation. Motivation is a spark, but it's not fuel. The fuel is consistency, and consistency comes from one simple thing: knowing why you're doing this. So here's a challenge for you right now. Pause this video if you have to and ask yourself, why do I want to learn English? Write it down. Not because I have to, but because I want to work abroad. Because I want to understand movies without subtitles. Because I want to speak confidently in interviews. That reason will become your anchor. Now let's talk about confidence. When you're studying by yourself, it's easy to fall into a trap of self-doubt. Am I pronouncing this right? What if I'm making mistakes and no one is correcting me? What if I sound silly? And here's the truth, you probably will make mistakes. You'll pronounce things wrong. You'll write awkward sentences. But guess what? That's exactly how you get better. Nobody becomes fluent by waiting to be perfect. You become fluent by allowing yourself to sound weird, wrong, even ridiculous, until one day you don't. Let's also talk about loneliness. Learning alone can feel isolating, especially if English isn't spoken around you. You might start to feel like your efforts are invisible, like nobody sees your progress. But your brain sees it. Every single repetition, every single sentence you think in English, it's rewiring your brain. Even if nobody else notices, your mind is evolving. Here's something powerful you can do. Create mental milestones. Celebrate small wins. The first time you finish a full page in English. The first time you understand a full podcast. The first time you talk to yourself for 5 minutes straight. Write these down. Track them. Because the brain loves evidence of progress. Let's also bust a myth. You don't need constant feedback to improve. Yes, feedback is helpful. But your brain is smart. With enough exposure to correct language, it starts recognizing patterns on its own. This is why immersion, even self-made immersion, works. Over time, you'll develop a natural sense of what sounds right even without someone correcting you. Another huge part of solo learning is discipline versus guilt. When you miss a day, what do? Most people feel guilty. They think they failed. They say, I messed up, I'll never be consistent, and they quit. But the best learners understand something simple. Missing a day is normal. Quitting isn't. It's okay to fall off. What matters is that you come back. Always come back. Forgive yourself and start again. And here's one more thing. Don't compare your English to others. Your journey is your own. Maybe someone else speaks more fluently. Maybe they had access to better schools. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep showing up. Every single day. So, what's the takeaway? Learning English alone is not just a language challenge, it's a mental one. But if you build your motivation around your personal why, track your small wins, forgive your missed days, and learn to tolerate discomfort, you'll not only learn English, you'll build resilience. And that skill? That's something no textbook, no class, no teacher can give you. Coming up next, we'll look at the heart of English fluency, speaking. Even if you're completely alone, I'll show you how to talk your way to confidence. Number 3. Speaking practice. Okay, now let's get into what most learners find the scariest and hardest part of all, speaking. And I get it. When you think of speaking English, you probably imagine talking to someone, asking questions, answering, chatting naturally. So how are you supposed to practice speaking if there's no one there? The good news? There are powerful ways to build your speaking skills completely alone. And I don't mean boring textbook reading, I mean real techniques that help you sound confident, fluent and natural, even if you've never left your home country. Let's start with one of the most effective techniques ever, shadowing. Shadowing is simple. You take a native English audio, like a podcast, YouTube video, or movie, and you repeat what they say at the same time or just a second behind. You try to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and tone. At first, it feels impossible. You'll mess up a lot. That's normal. But after a few days, something incredible happens. Your brain starts adjusting. You begin to sound more natural. You catch common patterns. You even absorb grammar without realizing it. Try this. Pick a 1-minute video clip from a YouTuber you like. Play it and pause after every sentence. Repeat it out loud. Then play the entire clip and shadow it in real time. Do that daily, and in 30 days, you'll notice a transformation. Another great tool? Monologues. This one is easy to set up. Just talk out loud every day for 5 to 10 minutes. You can talk about your day, your goals, your dreams, or even describe the room you're in. The goal isn't perfection. It's flow. You're teaching your brain to think in English without stopping every 5 seconds to translate. You can even record yourself. Yes, I know it feels weird. But when you listen back, you'll notice your weak spots and improve faster. Some learners even keep a daily audio diary where they record themselves every morning or night. This habit, over time, creates confidence. Now let's talk about role-playing. No, not acting in costume unless you want to. I mean practicing fake conversations. Imagine you're at a job interview. What would they ask? How would you answer? Or pretend you're ordering food in a restaurant, checking into a hotel, asking for directions, giving a presentation. Stand up, speak out loud, and act it out. This helps your brain prepare for real-life situations. Even if you're not in an English-speaking country, your brain will be ready when the moment comes. One underrated method? Talk to your reflection. It sounds silly, but it works. Look in the mirror and speak like you're talking to someone else. Watch your mouth. Adjust your expressions. This builds speaking confidence and helps with pronunciation. Now let's address something important: fear. When you're alone, it's easy to feel like, why am I doing this? Or I sound terrible. That's not a problem. It's a sign you're growing. If it feels uncomfortable, it means you're challenging your limits. And every time you speak out loud, you're building real fluency. Here's a fun idea. Use AI tools or language apps that let you speak and get feedback. Tools like ELSA Speak, Google Assistant, or even ChatGPT with voice input can simulate a conversation. It's not the same as a human, but it gives you feedback, pronunciation practice, and confidence. Another tip: describe your world. When you walk around your house or street, name the things you see in English. This is a chair. The chair is black. I sit on the chair when I work. It sounds simple, but this is how babies learn, through constant input and naming things. You can also turn your thoughts into English. Instead of thinking, I need to buy eggs, force your mind to think, I need to buy eggs in English. This way, your brain starts operating in English, not just translating. Combine these methods into a routine. Here's a simple daily plan. 5 minutes shadowing a native video. 5 minutes monologue about your day. 5 minutes roleplay one real-life scenario. 3 minutes mirror speaking to observe yourself. 2 minutes describing your surroundings. That's just 20 minutes a day. And with consistency, your brain will adapt. You'll begin to speak more naturally, use better rhythm, and feel less fear, even when talking to real people. One last thing. Don't chase perfection. Your goal is not to speak like a native. Your goal is to speak clearly, confidently, and comfortably. And the best way to do that is to speak as often as possible, even when you're alone. So yes, it's absolutely possible to become a great English speaker without a partner. You just need creativity, structure, and courage. Number 4, listening practice. Let's face it, being surrounded by English every day is one of the fastest ways to become fluent. But what if you live in a place where nobody speaks English? What if you've never even heard a native speaker in real life? Well, here's the truth. You don't need to travel to immerse yourself. You can create full English immersion from your bedroom. And today, I'll show you exactly how. First, let's talk about why listening is so powerful. Your ears are your gateway to fluency. Every sound you hear teaches your brain rhythm, pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary without needing to study. Babies learn this way. Before they ever speak, they listen. A lot. And they absorb patterns just by hearing them repeatedly. The same works for you. So your job is simple. Flood your brain with English sounds. Let's start with the easiest method, YouTube. It's free, it's full of content in every topic imaginable, and it's real, unscripted English. But don't just watch randomly. Choose content that fits 2 rules. It's interesting to you. It's slightly above your current level. You want content that challenges your ears without completely confusing you. Try watching vloggers, interviews, or storytime videos. If you're into cooking, find recipe videos. If you like tech, watch reviews. If you like drama, find reaction channels. Here's a tip. Turn on English subtitles, not translations, English subtitles. They'll help your brain connect sounds with words. And over time, reduce your reliance on them. Now let's move to podcasts. They're amazing because you can listen while doing other things, walking, cooking, commuting. Start with podcasts made for English learners, like The English We Speak by BBC or All Ears English. These are designed to be clear, slow, and easy to follow. Then, when you're ready, graduate to native-level podcasts like interviews, news, or storytelling shows. Yes, they'll be hard at first. But don't panic. Use what's called the repetition loop method. Here's how it works. Step 1. Listen to the same episode 3 times. First time, just listen. No pausing. Second time, listen with subtitles or transcript. Third time, pause after every sentence and repeat it out loud. This process builds not just listening, but pronunciation and memory. Another powerful method? Audiobooks. These are especially great if you enjoy reading but want to train your ears. Use apps like Audible or free ones like LibriVox. Choose beginner-friendly novels or nonfiction books about topics you like. Better yet, read the ebook version while listening to the audiobook at the same time. This is called bimodal learning, input through eyes and ears together. It's one of the best ways to remember new words. Now let's talk about movies and series. Yes, you can absolutely learn English with Netflix, but you need to do it the smart way. Don't just watch passively. Watch actively. That means choose a show with clear dialogue. Skip the ones with heavy slang at first. Turn on English subtitles. Not your language. Watch the same scene more than once. Pause. Rewind. Repeat sentences out loud. You can even choose a favorite scene and memorize it. Act it out. This builds your listening and speaking at the same time. There's a Chrome extension called Language Reactor that turns YouTube and Netflix into language learning tools. It shows dual subtitles, vocabulary definitions, and lets you save new words. It's a game changer for learners. Also, don't underestimate short-form content like Instagram Reels or TikToks. Native speakers speak fast and casually in these clips, but even watching 5 to 10 per day helps your brain adjust to natural speed and slang. One smart trick: change your entire environment to English. That means your phone, your apps, your computer, your playlists, everything. This small change turns every moment into learning, even your music. Listen to English songs. Look up the lyrics. Sing along. Don't worry if you don't hit the notes. What matters is hearing and producing real language. Here's a weekly immersion routine you can try. Monday, watch 15 minutes of a YouTube video with shadowing. Tuesday, listen to a 20-minute podcast while walking. Wednesday, watch one episode of a show with English subtitles. Thursday, read and listen to an audiobook for 15 minutes. Friday, replay a favorite scene and repeat every line. Saturday, music day. Pick a song, learn the lyrics, sing it. Sunday, rest or rewatch your favorite English content. This routine creates over 2 hours of real English input per week, without classes, without leaving your house. And here's what happens after 30 days. Your ears adjust. You start catching words you didn't before. Your pronunciation improves. You start thinking in English without effort. It's not magic. It's neuroplasticity, your brain rewiring itself. And it all starts with pressing play. Number 5, reading and vocabulary growth. So, we've talked about speaking and listening. But here's something many learners ignore: reading and vocabulary. And honestly, that's a huge mistake, because reading is your secret weapon. It's how you get grammar, vocabulary, sentence structure, and real-life phrases all at the same time. And when you read the right way, even for just 10 minutes a day, your English improves faster than you think. Now I get it. Reading in English can feel intimidating. Maybe you open a book and think, I don't know half these words. Maybe you try reading an article and give up after 2 paragraphs. That's normal. But here's the truth: you don't need to understand everything to become a good reader. You just need to understand enough to keep going. So let's start with a powerful concept: extensive reading. That means reading things that are easy and fun. Not textbooks. Not academic articles. I mean simple English books, short stories, news, comic strips, fan fiction, whatever you enjoy. The key is, it should feel enjoyable, not like homework. When you enjoy what you're reading, your brain relaxes. And that relaxed state helps you remember new words and patterns more easily. Here's a good starting tip: use graded readers. These are books written specifically for learners. They come in levels: beginner, elementary, intermediate, advanced. You can find tons of free ones online or in apps like LinkU or Readling. If you prefer online content, start reading blogs or articles in English. Use websites like News in Levels or Breaking News English. They simplify global news so that English learners can understand it. Now let's talk about vocabulary building, because just reading isn't enough. You need to capture and review new words too. But not all words. Here's a secret: don't try to learn every new word. That's exhausting. Instead, only choose 5 to 10 words per reading session, the ones you find interesting or useful. Write them down in a notebook or flashcard app. But here's the key: don't just memorize the meaning. Learn how to use it. That means writing your own sentence with the word, saying it out loud, using it in your monologue practice. Apps like Anki and Quizlet are amazing for this. They use something called spaced repetition, a learning system that reminds you of words just before you forget them. It's super efficient. Let's go deeper. When you read a sentence like, "The manager was impressed with her initiative," don't just look up initiative and move on. Break it down. What does it mean? Taking action without being told. What type of word is it? Noun. Can you use it in your own sentence? I showed initiative by finishing the project early. That's how vocabulary sticks. You can also group vocabulary by themes: food, travel, business, emotions, etc. That way, you start seeing patterns. Words don't live alone. They exist in families. Here's another method: visual flashcards. Find a picture that represents the word. Our brains love images, and when you connect a new word to a visual, you're more likely to remember it. Want to boost your reading speed and comfort? Try something called narrow reading. That means reading multiple texts on the same topic. For example, read 3 articles about coffee, or 4 short stories about travel. Because the more you see the same vocabulary in different contexts, the faster you learn. Let's also talk about reading aloud. When you read out loud, you're practicing not just reading, but also speaking and pronunciation. This activates your brain in a totally different way than silent reading. Here's a mini routine you can try. Pick a short article or story, 200 to 300 words. Read it silently once. Highlight 5 new words. Look them up, write a sentence with each. Read the entire article out loud. The next day, review your 5 words and read a new article. Do this daily, and in 30 days, your vocabulary will grow by at least 150 words, and you'll remember how to use them, not just what they mean. Don't forget about digital reading tools. Extensions like ReadLang or LinkQ let you click on any English word and see the translation instantly, saving you hours of frustration. You can also download bilingual books where the English text is side by side with your native language. These help you compare and understand quickly. For fiction lovers, try reading books you already know in English. For example, if you've read Harry Potter in your language, read the English version. You already know the story, so you can focus on the language. Also, don't be afraid of rereading. Reading the same article or chapter again helps solidify vocabulary and grammar patterns in your memory. Let's talk about one final trick: using context. This is a superpower. When you see a new word, don't rush to look it up. First, try to guess what it means based on the sentence. For example, she was exhausted after running the marathon. Even if you don't know exhausted, you can guess it means very tired because of the situation. Doing this regularly teaches your brain to become more independent, which builds reading confidence. Here's a fun challenge. Take 1 day per week where you read without a dictionary. Trust your brain. Guess meaning. Accept a little confusion. Over time, you'll develop a natural reading instinct, and that's when the magic happens. Reading and vocabulary growth are not about speed. They're about consistency and intentionality. Choose what you enjoy. Read a little every day. Write new words down. Use them in your own sentences. Review them weekly. Speak them out loud. And most of all, have fun. English is a living language, and it's not just something you study. It's something you experience. Number 6, writing alone. Writing, it's the one skill that reveals how much you really understand English and how confident you are using it. But when you're learning alone, writing can feel like a dead end. After all, if no one reads it or corrects it, what's the point? But here's the truth: you can massively improve your writing, even if you're the only one reading it. The secret? Make writing a daily habit and turn it into something you actually enjoy. Let's start with the easiest and most effective method: journaling. This is where you write about your day, your thoughts, your goals, just like talking to a friend, but on paper. It's powerful because it helps you connect ideas, organize thoughts, and practice grammar naturally. Set a goal to write just 5 sentences a day. Not a full essay. Not perfect grammar. Just write. Today was busy. I went to the market. I bought eggs and milk. I talked to the cashier in English. I felt proud. That's it. Simple, real, and effective. Over time, this adds up. You'll start writing longer sentences, better structure, and more confidence. And guess what? You'll start thinking in English more naturally. Want to level it up? Use journal prompts. These are questions or themes to help you write when you don't know what to say. For example, describe your perfect day. Write about a childhood memory. What is something you want to improve this year? Search online for English writing prompts for learners, and you'll find hundreds. Next, let's talk about storytelling. This is one of the most fun ways to improve your grammar, vocabulary, and creativity all in one. You don't have to write a novel. Start with micro-stories, tiny scenes, just 5 to 10 sentences. It could be fiction or real life. Example: Anna woke up late. She missed her bus. She ran to work and arrived out of breath. Her boss smiled and said, "Relax, we're starting late today." Anna laughed. Writing stories helps you practice verb tenses, transitions, and emotion, all naturally. Want feedback on your writing? You don't need a teacher. Use AI tools and grammar checkers like Grammarly, Quillbot, or ChatGPT. Paste your paragraph and ask for corrections or suggestions. It's like having a free tutor 24/7. Another method? Write emails. Even if you don't send them, write pretend emails for real-life situations. Email a fake boss. Request a refund from a fake company. Write a thank you letter. This builds your confidence in formal writing, great for jobs or studies. Here's a writing structure you can use when practicing emails. Greeting, dear Mr. Smith. Introduction, I'm writing to ask about. Details, last week, I purchased. Request, I would like to request. Closing, sincerely your name. Practice this with different topics each week. Want to practice speaking and writing? Try this technique. Write a short text, then speak it out loud. Or record yourself talking, then write down what you said. This connects your written and spoken fluency. You can also write comments in English online. Go to YouTube videos, Reddit, or Instagram posts in English and write a thoughtful comment. You're practicing writing and interacting with real people. Let's talk about consistency. The biggest challenge with writing is starting. So make it easy. Set a time, morning or night, and set a timer. Just 5 minutes. Once you begin, you'll often keep going. Here's a weekly writing routine you can try. Monday, 5-sentence journal entry. Tuesday, short email, real or pretend. Wednesday, write a story with a surprise ending. Thursday, comment on 2 English videos. Friday, write about your week. Saturday, use a writing prompt. Sunday, free day, or review your past writing. And here's one final tip. Reread your own writing. A week later, go back to what you wrote. Can you improve it? Can you spot any mistakes? This helps you self-edit and see your own growth. Writing is not about perfection. It's about communication. And when you write for yourself, every day, you develop a voice, a tone, a rhythm. That's what real fluency is made of. Number 7, daily routine plus habit building. Now that you've got all these amazing techniques for speaking, listening, reading, and writing, you might be wondering, how do I fit all this into one day? How do I stay consistent without getting overwhelmed? That's exactly what this section is about, building a daily English routine that works for your real life, your schedule, and your energy levels. Because here's the truth, fluency doesn't come from big actions once in a while. It comes from small actions done every day. That's the power of habit. Let's start with the golden rule of habit building. Keep it simple. Most learners give up because they try to do too much too fast. 2 hours of study, 10 exercises, 5 speaking drills, it's too much. Instead, start with just 20 to 30 minutes per day. That's right. Even 20 minutes a day is enough, if you use it well. Here's a powerful daily routine you can follow, even with a busy schedule. Alarm clock 20 to 30 minute daily solo English routine. 1. Speaking 5 minutes. Start your day with your voice. Do a monologue about your morning, role-play a situation, or shadow a native video. Just get your mouth moving in English. This builds fluency faster than you think. 2. Listening 5 to 10 minutes. Choose a podcast, YouTube video, or short Netflix scene. Focus on active listening, pause, and repeat if needed. This keeps your ears sharp and your pronunciation on point. 3. Reading 5 to 10 minutes. Read something you enjoy, an article, a blog, or a chapter of an easy book. Highlight new words, but don't stop too much. The goal is flow and understanding. 4. Writing 5 minutes. Wrap up your session by writing 3 to 5 sentences about your day, thoughts, or what you just learned. Bonus: use the new vocabulary you just read. That's it. Short, focused, repeatable. And guess what? Over a month, that adds up to 15 hours of English practice. And it's stress-free because it fits your life. Now let's talk about consistency. The best learners don't have more time, they have more systems. Here's how to build yours. White heavy check mark 1. Choose a fixed time. Morning, lunch break, evening, whatever works for you. Just make it the same time every day. This trains your brain to expect it, just like brushing your teeth. White heavy check mark 2. Create a trigger. A trigger is a small action that tells your brain it's English time. For example, after you make coffee, you start shadowing. After you open your laptop, you write 5 sentences. After you brush your teeth at night, you listen to a podcast. Link your practice to something you already do. White heavy check mark 3. Track your habit. Use a notebook, calendar, or app. Mark every day you complete your routine. Seeing that streak grow is powerful motivation. Even a simple each day makes a difference. White heavy check mark 4. Prepare the night before. Decide in advance what you'll do tomorrow. Which video to watch, which article to read, what prompt to write about. This removes friction and excuses. White heavy check mark 5. Use if, then plans. If I'm too tired to do 30 minutes, then I'll do 10. If I miss my morning session, then I'll do it at night. This gives your brain backup plans and makes it harder to quit. Now here's something most learners miss. Rest. Yes, you heard that right. Don't burn yourself out. Take 1 day a week to review or just enjoy English without pressure. Watch a movie with popcorn. Listen to a comedy podcast. Fun is part of fluency. Also, celebrate your wins. Every time you learn a new word, complete a full week, or understand a video without subtitles, that's progress. Write it down. Say it out loud. Tell yourself, I'm getting better. Because you are. Habits aren't built in 1 day. But if you do it imperfectly but consistently, you will succeed. The key is not being perfect. The key is showing up. Number 8. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. Let's be honest, learning English alone can be powerful, but it's also full of traps. If you're not careful, you can waste time, lose motivation, or get stuck in a loop of frustration. But the good news? These mistakes are 100% avoidable once you know what they are. So, let's break down the most common ones and how to fix them. Cross-mark mistake number 1. Studying instead of practicing. Many learners focus too much on memorizing grammar rules, vocabulary lists, or textbook exercises. But language is a skill, not a subject. You wouldn't learn to swim by reading a book, right? Backhand index pointing out fix it. Focus on using English, not just studying it. Speak, write, listen, and read every day, even in small doses. Practice builds real-world fluency. Cross-mark mistake number 2, trying to be perfect. This one's huge. So many learners feel like they can't speak or write until their English is perfect. But guess what? Perfection doesn't exist, not even for native speakers. Backhand index pointing out fix it. Aim for progress, not perfection. Make mistakes proudly. Each one teaches you something new. Fluency comes from trying, not waiting. Cross-mark mistake number 3, only doing what feels comfortable. It's tempting to only do things that feel easy, reading the same book, watching the same type of video, avoiding speaking. But growth happens outside your comfort zone. Backhand index pointing out fix it. Challenge yourself. Try harder videos. Speak out loud even if it feels awkward. Learn new topics. Your brain needs a push to grow. Cross-mark mistake number 4, learning randomly. Many learners jump from one app to another, one method to the next, hoping something just works. This leads to confusion and burnout. Backhand index pointing out fix it. Have a plan. Use the routines we shared earlier. Set goals. Be intentional. A simple plan repeated daily beats a complicated one abandoned in a week. Cross-mark mistake number 5, not tracking progress. If you don't track your growth, you'll feel like you're not improving even when you are. That's discouraging, and it leads to giving up. Backhand index pointing out fix it. Write down what you did today. Keep a log. Review your old writing. Record your voice. You'll be amazed at your progress in just a few weeks. You made it. You now have everything you need to practice English on your own, build real fluency, and create a daily routine that fits your life. But here's what I want you to remember. You are already doing what most people never do. You're showing up. You're learning by yourself. You're not waiting for a perfect moment or a perfect teacher or perfect conditions. You're creating your own path, and that's powerful. Yes, it's going to feel hard sometimes. There will be days when you forget a word, when you feel tired, when you wonder, is this even working? But it is. Every time you speak out loud, write a sentence, finish a video, you're building the skill. You're rewiring your brain. You're becoming fluent, step by step. Don't stop. Fluency is not magic. It's not talent. It's consistency. And now you've got a system to keep going, whether you have 10 minutes or an hour a day. If this video helped you, take a second right now to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who's learning English alone. You never know who you might inspire. And hey, drop a comment below. Tell me what part of this video helped you the most, or what your biggest English goal is. I read every single one. You're not learning alone anymore. We're in this together. Now go practice. You've got this.